for an hour tops. Welcome everybody. You got the radio experience. I mean, how?
Lead us into the show.
Dude, I didn't do a very good job, though.
You're like, I'm not in that profession anymore.
I did radio, but I got fired from it. So, I mean, I could be like, I could front sell some Metallica.
You didn't get fired for like,
Negligence.
For introducing Lionel Richie. Like, now we got the next Lionel Richie hit.
I did try to play some Eddie Money.
You,
Save me. Save together.
Okay, well I guess
he got fired for the gay porn on his computer.
I didn't have my own computer.
Hello, everybody out there in podcast land. This is the midnight turnaround when you
Inaugural.
The inaugural episode.
It is the inaugural. We could like be known for using really big words that are unnecessary
for normal situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to the new McDonald's they put up. It was my inaugural trip there.
Inaugural trip to McDonald's.
Anyways, midnight turnaround. You ask? Do you ask?
Yeah.
It's when you're turning over.
At midnight?
No. No, it's just that loving look that you give somebody. You know it's time.
And you know it's time to go.
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
It happens to be midnight.
It doesn't happen to be midnight right now.
It doesn't have to be midnight.
But
it usually is.
Still holds true, though.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Can I ask you guys a serious question?
Well, let's hold that question.
Okay.
Let's give a brief synopsis of what we're trying to achieve here.
All right.
We are not we're not the coolest guys. We're into the nerd stuff.
Speak for yourself.
Well, besides Victor over there.
Awesome.
We're not the coolest guys. We're into the nerd stuff, and we know. What did I say yesterday? We know
we don't know a lot about much,
but we know a little bit about a lot. We'll probably refine that catch line.
That'll be a good. That'll be a good phrase someday.
Someday.
Eventually, that'll be an awesome saying.
Yeah, with a little pre-planning.
We know a little bit about making catchphrases.
Yes.
Not a lot yet.
But I kind of want to have this to dabble into everything, to where if you happen to just turn this on and you say, you know what? Yeah, I feel the same way about that subject.
Send us an email.
Be it comic books that I don't really read, but I'm into the superheroes.
Yeah.
Or be it
I could be into comics.
Movies.
I feel like I was like a comic book nerd who never read comics.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. Like, and Wikipedia is just changing the game with knowing stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to read them anymore. It's great.
I think our generation was more geared towards like the cartoons. Because when we were growing up, there's X-Men cartoons, there's Batman cartoons, like
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, all these great comics from like the 60s and 70s when we were kids in the 80s were cartoon shows. So you could watch these shows and become fans of them without having to read the actual books.
Exactly.
We did do action figures though.
Oh yeah.
A lot of action figures.
Absolutely. And
Did
the
I
cards
tell you?
and the X-Men cards, like that was my thing.
Oh,
I didn't read the comics per se. I bought a few because I was a dumb little kid. Like, sweet.
I've got $5.
But the cards, I mean, that was my bread and butter.
I have an aggravating story to tell.
Let's hear it.
And I can't believe I didn't think about this in the heat of the moment.
All right. It's very pronunciated.
I know. So my cousin Matthew, obviously, we saw him moments ago at Easton. Ran into him.
Yep.
So he's getting to that age now. He's like 3 or something, I think.
Sure.
Whatever. He's getting into G.I. Joes.
Into that. I can hear your nose breath.
He's getting into the G.I. Joes and whatnot. And I guess one of his mom, Tara, my aunt, or my Uncle Rui, one of them two, one of their friends is like, oh yeah, little Matthew's into G.I. Joes or whatever. I got a bunch I've been trying to get rid of, like a family friend. Gave him like a giant Rubbermaid box, like the thing you like store your Christmas tree in, of not just Joe's, but like mint condition, like weapons, vehicles, all this stuff. Just gave it to him. The kind of thing you see on eBay for sale for like $3,000, and you're like, I want all those, but I can't justify spending $3,000 on that.
Well, here, this might interest you.
They're just like, oh, here, just have it. Just gave this kid all these G.I. Joes.
Right now, there is a coffin-sized tub of Barbie accessories.
That doesn't excite me in any way, shape, or form.
It's from my sister's. When she was little, I figured that might.
I like how your sister has a coffin-sized box of stuff left. Where's your stuff?
It's
Broken. Broken.
Wait, stuff from my childhood?
Yeah.
Or the last house I got kicked out of?
Well, I was thinking more childhood memorabilia, but so back to the GI Joe. So were you like, he doesn't really like GI Joes? Like, I should take those off your hands.
Well, it's like I told him because he was there.
Break 'em.
I'm like telling my cousin, I'm like, dude, I'll come play. You know, I'm not gonna say you should have given me those GI Joes instead of him.
just pocket a couple at a time.
I know. I haven't even seen like
He
they
won't
told
even
me.
notice.
He won't even notice.
He won't. But I was like, really? Like a whole like giant mass of Joes. I got heated.
See, I wasn't necessarily into the Joes, but the older I get, the more I appreciate them for what they were, because they're not that anymore.
They're not.
Like
I mean,
the
they've
new
come out
movies.
with. They've had a few different like series they've done, where they'll do like more articulation with the hips and the knees and things like that. But yeah, for a while there, after like late '90s or whatever, like the GI Joes were just crap. Like
Yeah.
they had less joints than a Lego man, and you're just like, what do I need this for? It's stupid.
No, that's cool. So we haven't really hammered out many segments yet.
No.
We don't have. We don't have talking points yet. We're gonna try some things out, see what works and what doesn't. If this even becomes a regular thing, this hopefully this doesn't crash and burn, and
Hopefully-
everyone's like, this was terrible.
Hopefully, you are listening to this now in 2016, and you're going back to say, "Hey, I wonder where this show started at."
What?
And you listen to episode 1.
Okay, let's go with that. What would you
And
say
you're
to
like, I
yourself?
can't believe Jeremy's so rich now.
What would you say?
After starting there.
I would say Vic used to be so fat, but you can't tell how fat I am on the radio.
No, not we don't have physical profiles yet.
I wish the scale that's sitting behind you had like a robot voice, so that we could stand on
for
it.
all the ladies
Why?
out
So
there.
that one more thing could sound disappointed when I stand on it? Like,
What else do I, stand on?
I don't need electronic disappointment. I mean,
You are too fat.
it'd be like, ouch.
Ouch, that hurts.
Okay, so I asked you guys to bring a couple talking points.
I didn't.
You did not.
I can probably come up with a few.
Well, just kind of go with what you got at the time. I have two things. I told you guys I had one
Yeah,
topic.
you talked about it. I was curious.
We
You've
have
been talking about it like 3
have
days.
talked about it at nauseum.
Okay.
Okay,
There's another word. Ad nauseum.
ad nauseum. Okay, so Latham
Some
just
kind of
texted me back.
antacid.
Okay.
Latham was supposed to be our other partner in crime.
Yes, this is a 4-piece.
He's not here.
We have a 3-piece nugget right
quartet.
now.
So I asked him if he was coming, and he said, I swear to God, probably not today. Washing today, since I didn't yesterday. Update me on whatever happens, on whatever progress happens.
So his washing is an all day.
It's an all-day event.
Like he's washing himself. He's
Yeah.
washing his clothes. He's washing
It's just
his car.
washing. It just says washing today.
I picture him just like boiling buckets of hot water. Like, I've
The
got to
long
wash today.
Rubbermaid yellow gloves on.
So hopefully number 2 will be a 4-piece. So officially right now it's the 3-piece nugget.
And hopefully
that's
that'll
gonna
be a day
finish
where he
this out.
washes.
Right. Hopefully he's washed.
One
when
of
he-
us needs to be clean for the radio show.
Okay, so here's a talking point, and we will start. We sort of started on a comic book thing, and I'm just jumping around, so who cares?
Yeah.
You guys will agree with me on this, but I want to hear. I've heard your opinions. I would love to hear them on tape, so I can listen back to them and laugh. And this has to do with the
Is
leader.
anybody else nervous right now?
The leader of the Uncanny X-Men,
Cycloptus?
Cyclops.
Gayclops?
Why is Cyclops such a bitch? And yes, I did emphasize that into the mic.
You did.
Why? Why
Here's
do they
the
make?
thing.
They make. I mean, his power is so tight.
It's unbelievable.
It's awesome, but
I
it has
saw a comic
his.
one time
There's
where he
nothing.
shattered a mountain.
There's nothing about his power that insinuates leadership.
Nothing.
Like you
Or
think,
his attitude.
right? You would think. Okay, for one, there's other spin-offs of the X-Men series where Wolverine is the leader. Okay, obviously because Wolverine's badass. So it's like he has, he has adrenaline, he has aggression, he has the attitude to just, take charge and all that kind of stuff, it makes sense for Wolverine to be a leader. Or you know,
to an extent.
power wise, you think maybe someone more like Professor X that has like some mind control abilities
and not
or
much physical.
Right, has high
he
intelligence.
is the leader.
Well, yeah.
He's not the battlefield leader.
Right.
Scott Summers is more the tactician.
You would just think, like, Cyclops would be badass if he was just, like, the right-hand man and would just brought the muscle and just shot his optic blast at whatever got in the way. Is like, took orders from somebody else.
And it should be that way.
He should be just a sniper. But...
Could you imagine getting sniped with an optic blast from, like, 400 yards away?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it should be... Because you know how I feel about him. But here's what I don't want. I don't want us to sit in a room and bash Cyclops.
No. But you need to tell us how you feel about him, because that's the point of voicing things on the record, is to describe them.
I
feel like...
Do you think a shot from Cyclops from 400 yards would take you out in one hit, or is it like this? Or is it like the 50? Or is it like the 50 cal from Modern Warfare 3, where it takes like
hit
2 or 3 shots
hit markers
to get you?
But the thing is that he can dial the intensity, right?
Right.
So why?
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Depends on what format you're watching.
Yeah.
Right. I'm talking. I mean, we'll just talk in generals, but why was he the chosen leader? Yeah, he's got this internal struggle.
Well, when
with
he was
Jean.
with Jean, when she was still alive and they were happy, he was to an extent the best leader available. Like, he was smart, he was under control, he didn't get rattled in fights and stuff like that. He always had the group mindset.
Do you think Storm got gypped?
A little bit.
Oh,
yeah,
big time.
I do, but I also consider her a drama queen.
Because it's a man's world, baby, and she is not being the leader.
Well,
like, I feel like that was the attitude. Like,
well, it is a man's world. Maybe that's Cyclops' downfall. Is he's too in love, man. He's too in love. He can't handle it. He gave his balls away.
And then throws himself.
He's in a state of clinical depression for 90% of the shows.
I like the point that you made, though. Maybe that is a reason that he does take a leadership status, is because he is level-headed.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get enraged, like Wolverine does or
Exactly.
something like that.
Wolverine can make bad decisions, where I think Cyclops would not. But see, that's his downfall, is when he starts thinking about Jean, he makes bad decisions.
Yeah.
We need a soundbite.
We do.
Drop it every time we say Jean.
Dude, I got instant buttons. I don't have Jean on there, but
Eventually, we'll set him up and get him on a channel to where you can just hit him. Yeah. That's another point to stick around for. Sound effects.
yeah, it's gonna be better.
For the Wacky Morning Show, guys.
Cyclops' power is unbelievable in that he should be able to just look at you and you die. And yet, every single fight he's ever been in, he's never taken anybody out. Never.
Well, it's because it's for children.
You're right. Well,
same way with like Ninja Turtles. You never seen Leonardo just cut somebody's head off, but he could.
It should have happened.
It should have, but it's aimed towards youth.
Yeah. So that was just the first thing. We were like, let's think of topics. I said, that's it. I said, I need to know why he's revered so heavily. When I think he's one of the weakest, not power wise, but
he wouldn't. Here's my thing: is if he got in a fight with another mutant, he would not use his power effectively. He wields power ineffectively.
Like in the movie when Sabretooth is chasing him down the hallway and he cuts the entire school in half. Like, are you kidding me? And you couldn't hit him with that?
All you had to do was look at him. What are you doing? Just
look at him.
Here's the other thing you got to think about too: is there's so many, strong personalities in X-Men. Maybe they're just like, screw it, just give it to that guy. Because it's like no matter who we pick, no matter who we choose, there's someone's gonna feel gypped, or there's so many strong abilities and personalities that whoever we pick, someone's gonna be like, that should have been somebody else. So they rolled a dice and said, we'll give it to Cyclops.
Do you want to turn the fan on?
What?
It's the dial. There it is. That should be okay. Okay, personal business aside.
Jeez.
Jeremy's uncomfortable.
My God, drama queen in the house.
Sorry.
I'm so uncomfortable.
I had a lot to drink last night.
All right, so that was. I guess you guys bring up good points, And
So
and you said you don't want to sit around and just bash Cyclops. But
I don't, because he filled his role effectively for a while, and then once Jean went away, he went into the dumper. But I mean, he used to check Wolverine all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He kept everybody in line.
Yeah. You're
So-
right. He does have some redeeming qualities, but he's also portrayed, like in the movies, they made him look like a hoe.
Oh yeah, they did
all
they
the
did
time.
They did him dirty.
I don't like, and I never liked the dude that played him. I've never seen him in a movie like, yeah, he's
It's
awesome
like
in that
Tobey
movie.
Maguire as Spider-Man. There's a disconnect there.
Dude, Spider-Man 2 was on. You were over, and we were watching it, and utter disappointment. Like at the time, they redone the Spider-Man. The first one was pretty killer, and it was new.
Right after like 9/11 too, and then it was like the New York thing. And
So you're saying some emotions played into
I
that,
think so.
and then we hadn't had like they made the X-Men and stuff, and those were sweet. But then they started. This was like the next level.
Yeah.
Like they tested it with X-Men, I think, and they're like, okay, we got to market. And then we're like, oh my God, Spider-Man, and Tobey Maguire's a total dweebo.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
like
like-
their choice for that either.
And then in the second one, he's got like the nerdy hipster glasses on, and it's just he's on
too
screen,
much.
and I'm like, they could have done better. They
Yeah.
could have done better.
I'm really looking forward to the new one with Andrew Garfield. I think
He
he,
fits the role better.
yeah, because he's kind of scrawny and
Smaller,
nerdy,
yeah.
but he's not
Bitch.
Tobey Maguire.
And it looks like, it looks like they're not making the web like naturally. Like Tobey Maguire shot it out of his wrist.
Yeah, which isn't how it happened.
Yeah, he
It's
makes
like-
it. In the
yeah.
comics, he
Yeah.
invents it, and it only lasts 1 hour. That's why he can't market it and make money, because it dissipates after an hour.
Huh? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's why there's the entire city of New York isn't just covered with Spider-Man's web. 'Cause yeah,
6 months down the road, they're like, "What the hell is this seepage all
Yeah.
over the city?" Yeah. So that
so I'm looking forward to that. Plus, just the cinematography of it, it shows in the previews, looks really good. It looks more like fast-paced action, not so much. Let's get Tobey Maguire in this movie. And
Yeah, let's do
Kirsten
like
Dunst.
45 straight minutes of him on camera.
and it
Can
does.
we even talk? Do we even need to talk about the part in 3 where he's like dancing down the street?
No. I literally
I almost walked out.
sat there, like my mouth was. I was like, "Is this happening?"
Like, who are you catering to right now?
I don't know who they were trying to capture with
I
that.
think they were with a new director for the third one. That's embarrassing.
This microphone keeps sagging down.
oh,
It's because you're leaning on it with your man beard.
saggy mic.
No. Okay. So, anyone else have a topic?
Well, I did have. It was just more of a comment.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel? What's the etiquette on liking your own posts on Facebook?
Switching over to Tech Talk.
Tech Talk with Jayhawk.
Tech Talk with Jay. I mean, the shit writes itself, right?
Because I go through some of my posts, I forget that I make comments from time to time, and I'll just look through my page, and I'll see stuff, and I'm like, that was funny that I said, and I like my own comment.
You can't do that. You can't do that, and here's why. Because at one point there was a time when Facebook didn't exist before technology, as I put it.
Yeah, like 1812.
1812.
When you said technology was invented.
You're just talking about checking your status and reading your diary.
It was the year of the war.
It's been a lot of those
The war.
years.
The war
Just
was the war of 1812. That was the war. All right.
I lost my train of thought now. Before technology. Oh, you're sitting around, like say we are now, and I think of something really clever, and it's under
You say
100.
it.
It's under 140 characters, and I say it, and everyone you just hear crickets. This would be a good time for the. You got them? The hot butt crick crick. The crickets.
Oh, I got crickets.
All right.
Hang on. Let me
Let him cue it up.
cue it
Cue
up.
it up and we'll act like that
Like-
prior statement didn't happen.
Like it didn't happen.
Okay, so you're sitting around and you're telling a story, as we often have, and you hit the part where you're like, this is going to get laughs for sure, and all you hear is Vic playing on a cell phone.
I haven't queued it up. Wait.
Vic's drawing something.
There it is. Oh, man, that didn't go over too well. It would be like,
But then you want to tell the story to other people.
no, yeah, you do. And keep in mind, you haven't told the story to everyone you know, like on Facebook. Like, so.
Fish stuff.
Oh, shit, that was loud.
It's a censor beep, I swore.
I swore too, and it didn't show.
That sound made me swear.
So, the human equivalent of liking your own post would be like getting those crickets and then going,
You don't hear that joke? That was a funny ass joke.
I just said it. I said that shit. Like, that's what I liken to that. Liken to that.
Liking. I think you gave him too much power. Now he's going to wield it.
He is not.
Effectively.
No, I'm going to wield it effectively.
Just turn your mic off. Just let him go for a minute.
I thought we liked Epic Sax Guy.
We like Epic Sax Guy, but not
It's
epic.
called Sexy Sax.
Not
Man, by
epic
the way.
sound effects guy that just plays them over everyone talking.
No one was talking at the time.
Yeah. What about your opinion on the Facebook thing? Since you just derailed the entire thing.
You asked me to find crickets, and I brought you crickets.
And sexy jazz. Like
And like some techno.
like not only crickets, you get jazz.
I don't see a problem with liking your own status. I don't do it, but
Not like today. Like I'm not gonna update my status today. Like I'm recording today. Like
So you
and, like
So
it's
you
like
liked-
stuff I read that I posted earlier in the month that
But-
I'm like, God damn, that was funny.
But then
when I
doesn't
said
it
that."
repost like it reposts in your
Exactly.
feed like Jeremy liked his own comment. It tells
Yes.
people that you're a loser.
I would rather,
Is that loser behavior by liking your own comment?
if that was the
My
case,
opinion, yes.
if I was really interested in what I'd said some time ago again, then I would be more likely to continue like the comment thread going on than to just like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I like the like button in general. I was just curious about etiquette.
I'm not a huge like I guess
I feel
I
like
like
there shouldn't
Facebook. I enjoy it, but I feel like it's just too serious. If by liking your own comment you kind of are showing your humor, like, yeah, I get it. Like, this isn't as serious as it should
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Then yeah, I can see that. But otherwise, I mean, you just can't take that too serious.
The
like
funny
some
thing,
people do.
the funny thing about it, and everyone's always made comments about there not being a dislike button.
Exactly.
Because sometimes someone will put something negative, and you don't want to write a comment, and the only thing you can do is like it. So it's all like, oh yeah, my dad just got out of the hospital. They think he's going to be okay. And you're like,
and you like it.
you're like, I want to like it, but it's like your dad was in the hospital. So it's like, I don't know what to say.
Well,
so.
how about
And
the
then-
combo posts? The combos where they hit you with, found out my mom has cancer, and I got my car washed today.
Oh.
And you're like, well, I like that you got your car washed, but that first thing, not so much.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the time I was
Like, why would you
uh,
bury something that deep in like? So I got my car washed today, and my dog
Oh,
died.
It was just a for instance.
And my dog died.
when I was working in radio prior to this fabulous job in radio.
This job?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a great job.
who's paying you to do this?
Skittles.
Skip.
I got a text message at the radio station that said, it was like, hey, my mom's been sick. She's in the hospital. Can I request Limp Bizkit break stuff? And I was like, is that going to make your mom feel better? I don't know.
Like maybe.
Would you have felt better about it if he had said, like, reunited? Like Peaches and Herb?
I don't know. It was
Or Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton.
by some Eric Clapton.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's completely oxymoronic.
Facebook should not be used for the purposes that it's mostly used for, though.
Which is
Drama.
pandering.
Like
Trolling.
fishing for comments and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
It's the
Posting pictures of yourself in the mirror 18 times a week.
It's the
Like,
epidemic that I like to call vague booking that drives me
Vague booking,
insane.
Oh, I like that.
I didn't make that up, so I won't claim that I did, but I like the term, and everybody's seen it, and nobody likes it. Where you're like, man, I've had such a bad day.
Dot,
if only,
dot, dot.
if only that one thing would go right, and then you're like,
Yeah.
dot dot.
And you know that when that person is writing that, they're like, I hope someone knows exactly what I mean and write me back about
Call
it.
me today.
Wish-
Hope she wakes up soon.
Dot dot dot. And then the one person that likes it confirms it, and you're like, you could have just
No,
said,
they don't even
I
comment.
hope.
They just like
No, that's what I'm saying. They just like it, and you see who liked it, and you're like, ah,
That's why I
okay.
need
So
to
there's a
dislike
budding
it.
relationship here that you couldn't have just said, hey, I dig this chick. Dumb.
Here's another thing I'm starting to grow tired of. Texting. I would rather, and maybe I'm just old school, I'd rather hear the tone of your voice. I need to know what inflection you're saying things sometimes. Especially Victor. Because I can't read you for shit on a text message.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, you end every text message with 4 or 5 dots.
It's 3.
Every single one.
It's 3.
I always
So,
I do the 3
I
dot
never
thing.
know if you
I
mean,
do.
if you're like asking,
But
like
no.
you want me to follow up on
No,
that
no, no.
text?
He puts question marks when it's a question.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he's done with the thought. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, he'll be like, hey man, I'm buying some chips, ... And I'm like, well, what else is he buying?
Does he
like-
want me to give him flavors?
Is
like,
Yeah.
I do.
So I never know.
Overuse the ... way too much. But
But that's your thing, though.
But
I
then
just-
also when you're talking to a female on the phone, if you don't know them that well,
right.
it's very hard to tell if they're joking or if you're joking.
Yeah.
And then you have that awkward moment where you got to explain the joke, and once you explain the joke, it's not funny anymore. It's an awkward thing, and I'd rather just see
I've
the person
had-
or talk to you on the phone.
I have had several conversations via text that either I or the other party at the time thought was an argument when it was not an argument.
Yeah, when you're joking the whole time. and
You're
they're,
like joking,
flip
and
out.
they're like, and you don't talk. They don't talk to you for like a week, and they're like, "What was up with that text last week?" And you're like, "What?" And you're like, "Oh, when you were talking all that crap," and you're like,
You said you hope my dog died.
"Right." And you're like, "Oh yeah." I
You're
thought
like,
we were just joking."
autocorrect got me again.
Yes.
I said dad.
But yeah, and you're just like, "Oh, I thought we were in an argument." It's like, "No, we weren't." It's like, "Oh, okay." But I understand what you mean about needing to know the inflection
Yeah.
of what people are saying.
Well, that happens a lot in my email at work. I think I tend to go defensive first, and I'm like, this person is talking s about me. I need to get to the bottom of
Like,
this.
if you're gonna say yes, just go for the gold. Just let it.
I don't like gratuitous.
You said it.
Ding.
Man. You said
That's
it.
where a
We're
ding
not-
would be.
We're not.
You're,
we're not
Oh,
children.
so I start
we're not-
using it,
we're
and you
not
get mad at me,
children.
and I put it away, and now you're like, where you at with
No,
the
no,
sound?
You said S. You implied the word shit. Everybody listening thought the word shit. Just say the word
okay,
shit.
well, here's the difference in that.
Shit.
If you go to a movie and someone says, "Get the F out of my face," they still get
They
a PG-13 rating.
They do.
Not that we're going for ratings, because who cares? We're the only ones listening to this.
All I'm saying is, if I say,
You're saying
get
commit.
the F out of here,
You're saying
you know I meant get the fuck out of here.
you're saying commit.
Exactly.
Okay.
I just think it's pandering.
FCC doesn't regulate podcasts, so
No, they don't. No, they don't. But they put the little explicit red bar next to it, which who cares?
free to say fuck. T-shirt right there. Free to say fuck.
Free to say fuck.
During the midnight hour.
So my next topic that I was gonna bring up was gonna be pet peeves and how appropriate.
Yeah. Because someone
No.
doesn't know how to
No, I'm kidding.
cell phone Johnny over there.
But if the goal of this podcast is to use ridiculous words in unnecessary timing, like
That's pretty
gratuitous,
funny. Yes.
Gratuitous.
we need like a ding, ding,
Yeah.
something. You got a ding?
You get a point.
You got a ding?
I sure. You
Like
know what I
the-
have?
Like the common mandatory sick go bell.
You know what I have that I
What's
probably
that?
can't use?
Every time they talk about somebody who's not playing professional sports anymore, they say that he works at a gas station.
Oh, sit go. That's pretty good.
That's
Although
the-
it's probably like copywritten.
That's the Law and Order thing, yeah. All this stuff is from like movies and stuff.
Okay, well, cancel it then.
Yeah, do that on your own time.
We can come up with I can make sounds.
You can. The human sound effects machine. Oh, he pooped.
He didn't really poop.
He didn't poop. Okay.
That was special effects, right?
So I know we kind of touched on the comic book thing. We kind of hit the tech talk with Jayhawk. It's just so bad.
It's
so bad it's good.
So bad it's good.
So bad it's good.
It's gold.
so stupid. It's smart.
So dumb.
TikTok with J-Hop.
My second topic that I was gonna ask you guys about would be pet peeves, because I don't think they're very weird, but there's just stuff that happens and you're just like, you just want to go across the room.
Number one pet peeve. Everybody take a shot here. Aaron, you're up.
My number one?
Yeah.
Talking with your mouth full, hands down. Makes me want to strangle you so you can no longer eat anymore.
Hey Vic, what's your number one, man?
My number one is probably talking over people talking. You know what I mean? If someone's talking and before they're even done talking, then you're like, well, the thing about it is we could go over and do
Like
the thing.
they're not even listening.
Exactly.
Like they're
for their
talking.
turn to talk.
Like they're talking over you. Like you're
Not just me. If I hear like other people do it to each other, it drives me crazy too.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
but yes, even more so when it's me. If I'm sitting here and talking to somebody,
And I'm like, oh my god,
Yes.
listen. Yeah, and I just,
Oh, if you think that's good, listen to this shit.
even like
no, that's a one-upper.
that is a one upper.
Oh, is that that's different?
Well,
I would-
you can one up somebody without talking over them. But let's say, for instance,
That's one of my pet peeves. Is
if you're having a conversation or you're doing like a podcast like this, if you want to chime in, you might say like, but. And then you let the people know that you're ready to talk, so that when they finish talking, they
Right.
allow
Raise
you.
your hand.
Right, or they'll allow you to talk. Whereas, if Aaron is just talking about something, just say, talk about whatever.
You want me to talk
Yeah,
about
just-
whatever?
yeah.
All right, man. So I was choosing paint colors.
Oh, the
for
paint colors
room,
that you had yesterday.
and-
That was the green ones and the blue ones.
yeah. And you know what? I find myself doing this.
I found you doing it too. I've seen it. I know what you're gonna say.
Finishing sentences.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like, I do it on accident and I don't mean it, but when people are telling me a story, I kind of try to figure out the next word. Like, and I don't do it on purpose. And I know it's annoying. I can't believe nobody said anything to me about it yet, unless they go home and they have the hair doll of me and they're like,
They had a little voodoo doll.
You finished my sentence for the last time. And he
Stab it
snips
with pins.
Snips it, yeah. So I do that and I catch myself and I go, oh, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
It's so awful.
Jayhawk.
I just imagine a hair doll of you because don't they use your own hair?
Oh,
So
your hair doll would be so
hair
big.
doll ever.
Your hair doll would be like a Build-A-Bear, full of your body hair.
The special edition.
The person that came to collect the hair was like, "What the fuck did I get myself into?"
They brought gas-powered hedge clippers.
They were like, I didn't know this was a full-time job.
I'm gonna get his hair and his Dyson to carry it all out.
So I'm listening to Jeremy slam doors around here. He apparently doesn't know microphone etiquette.
He doesn't.
We'll learn him.
Jeremy, did you say your pet peeve?
I've got a few.
Number one.
So if I can interject, please. We have two pretty decent
We
microphones
got two
here.
pretty decent microphones. I don't know if you.
And and Vic and I are predominantly using those microphones. Jeremy has a headset mic, but it hisses, so
He's rocking some Turtle Beaches.
So
in
he's
this.
being picked up by a little bit of my microphone. I keep swaying it over to him when he is taking the floor, so you probably hear the difference. We're gonna upgrade that soon because it sounds like me and Vic are talking, and he's just in the room, kind of trying to get a word in edgewise. He's like, hey guys, I got something to say.
Hey.
I'm that guy on Tom Green show. And he's just
Oh,
sitting there laughing.
they would just laugh in the corner.
Was it Glenn?
It was
Paul.
Phil.
Phil.
Yeah.
Glenn was the
Glenn-
co-host.
Yeah. Phil just sat like in that window with a cup of coffee and just
Just
laughed.
laughed.
And stuff.
Yeah. So we're gonna. I know when I listen to this back, it's gonna be like me and Vic have like the dominating
ghost voice.
sound, and he's in the back like, yeah. So this Cyclops is.
Here's the thing about Cyclops. He's got a blast.
So
That sucks too because I got the sexiest voice.
I know we'll fix that in future casts too. So we just plug in and go.
Anyway,
we said
just to get rid of the conversation and moving on, my biggest pet peeve is things being snatched out of my hands. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-year-old child. I
Give me
do
that
not
tight.
like stuff being grabbed out of my hands. It's that moment when it happens and you just see red.
you
You just want to kick somebody right in the face.
get hot. Yeah.
Like I just want to throw a child when they do it to me. You gotta talk yourself off of that ledge.
Because you know that they don't know any better, but you can't explain that to your brain
Exactly.
and your ego.
Exactly.
Like, dude, just get it snatched from me.
Does this happen like you
It
made a
doesn't
reference?
happen frequently.
You made the reference of your child, like, but I mean, when you're when you're
Abigail.
when you're at a restaurant and you go to pay your bill and you hand them a credit card, if they take it a little too quickly, does that like send you off too, or?
I don't like it. I'll set it down when I'm ready for you to have it.
Oh, Vic, we got to tell you about what happened the other night. It was glorious. And this is getting off topic, so are we done with that?
The lottery?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, lottery the other night, $640 million. We all had big aspirations.
Aspirations.
I don't get anything
Ding.
for aspirations.
Ding. Okay. Okay.
We got to work. We should
all-
write this down
We
so
all
I know to
had
get
big
some
dreams
sound
since
effects.
Vic's not on his game tonight.
No.
Every time I pull this out, you get.
Well, because then you just start playing stuff
We
into
all
the mic.
thought we were going to be able to pay off the ridiculous bets we made throughout
Right.
childhood.
Right.
And it didn't happen. Nobody won that we know.
No.
So
Jeremy and I, it's tornadoing outside the other night.
Thor was circling above our
Thor was circling our house, God of Thunder styly, and we went up to Speedway. We're like, you know what? Let's just go. I had $1. You paid what? How much did you buy?
I only bought one.
$1?
Yeah,
Okay.
$1.
We bought $1. I don't gamble. So I was like, you know what? This is a big payoff. If I'm going to win, I'm going to hit it in one line anyway. So $1. We go in there, line, just a line. We go to the shorter line.
$640 million, nothing to sneeze at.
No, nothing to sneeze at all. So we get in there, and I approach the teller. It's probably 8:30. Drawing is at 11. It's 8:30. There's a line. It's thundering. I want to try to make this cashier's day a little better. So I'm like,
Because we're in a good mood. We've been kicking back a few.
yeah. So we get in there, and hey, how many lottery tickets have you sold tonight? And she looks at me, and
Disdain
Just
in her eyes.
disgust.
Disdain.
Okay, that's good.
Just,
Disdain. And then he points it out like that's the word. I like that. She looks disgusted at her life, and she's like, a lot of lottery tickets. And I'm like, oh, one more. And I hand her 4 quarters. She takes
should
them.
have seen how hard she threw those quarters.
She
into
popped
her
open the
change
drawer and threw them in there. You know how they have the little half circle where the change goes?
Yeah.
I would have expected them to just shoot out the other side.
Really?
And she prints out my one ticket, and I'm like, oh, that's great customer service. And she just doesn't even...
So then I'm nervous because I'm behind Aaron and I need a lottery ticket too.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get my balls chopped off by this lady. So I'm like, well, I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to need one more. But so she reaches for my $1 and then I dropped it.
He dropped it on the counter, but it wasn't on purpose.
But she probably thought that I did that shit on purpose because she got so mad. She didn't say a word to me. She just walked over, got my ticket, handed it to me, and said, "Next."
It was amazing.
Now you guys used to do like random numbers, or you pick your own?
Yeah, just random.
Did you play?
No,
You didn't even play $1?
I didn't.
You know what you can't do if you don't play?
You can't win.
You can't win.
So we were talking about my friend Dave earlier, because I got a text. One of my friends got 4 out of 5, which pays and he got the multiplier, which pays like 30,000 out of the 6 million. Where he won like 30,000.
Yeah.
Didn't know that 4 out of 5 pays, and doesn't know where his ticket is.
I think he owes you royalties on that.
He owes me royalties.
Yeah,
Why?
for getting his name on your arm.
He does. I have his name tattooed on my arm. He won $30,000 and doesn't know if he threw the ticket away, if they're like in an old pair of jeans. He has no idea because he saw 4 out of 5 and was like, oh, I didn't get it, and like spaced out until he posted on Facebook, just my luck, I get 4 out of 5. And everyone was like, dude, that pays. And he's freaking out. I don't know where the ticket is.
So wait, if he didn't have the ticket, how did he know he hit?
Well, because he had the ticket when he watched it. Hit 4 out of 5, didn't know it paid. So then he either tossed the ticket or...
It says it during the draw.
Wait, so I don't know about you guys. And
If I hit 4 numbers on a lottery
I'm
ticket, I
checking.
might frame it just in case.
I'm checking.
Right.
I didn't win, and mine
It
is still on
sounds-
my nightstand. Like,
It sounds a little bit like shenanigans. The trick will be the next time we see him at the bar, if he's not buying drinks, I don't believe it.
That's what I'm saying. He may
well,
not
he may
ever...
not find it.
If he doesn't find the ticket, then...
I'm going to his house. We're
He's
gonna
out
find
30 grand. And here's the thing, is I text him to see what was up, and he hasn't wrote me back. So either he hasn't written me back, hasn't wrote me back.
I don't know. Written, right?
Written me back.
Writ?
Yeah, sounds
Oh,
right.
that. I didn't mean to correct you. It was kind of facetious of me to do that, but
Wait.
facetious.
My phone turned off.
Facetious.
Facetious.
Okay, so I was scanning through the dial the other day, and the country radio station came on, and it was their morning show, and they were like talking about has Facebook and text messaging ruined like language and how we speak and abbreviating things.
Not yet.
It hasn't yet. And one of the DJs
For 11-year-old.
One of the DJs was like, I really dislike it when people correct my grammar, especially online. She's like, I'm on Facebook or Twitter. You're not supposed to have, you only have a limited amount. And I'm like, you can spell out the word like.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like when people correct my grammar and then spell the word grammar incorrectly. Is that kind of a pet peeve, or is that just funny?
That's both.
It's a little funny, but here's what I thought. I'm like, you are
Grammar has 2 A's, people.
Or when people spell genius, like I'm a genius and they spell genius wrong.
But my first thought when I heard that was a little sad because I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, yeah, we are in the social media world. Yes, everything is abbreviated and quick, and people do things on the go, and people make mistakes. I get it. But you are in the communications business.
It's your job to spell things correctly.
And now you're telling me that you hate it when people correct how you communicate? Like, that is your job.
Well, and another point to that is, I was just talking to this girl the other day who's graduating with a communications major, and half of her grade is based off social media. Like she had 25% of her grade was a Twitter page that she had to set up for marketing, and then 25% of her grade was a blog that she had to set up for marketing.
Huh. That's interesting.
So it is at this point, it's a Twitter and Facebook world.
It is, and it should be. But if you have the chance to be correct, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's my number 2 pet peeve.
Well, the other thing about that is every phone and every computer on the face of the earth has spell check. So I don't understand how you're misspelling words at this point. You're just being lazy. There's a big ass red squiggly line under your word. You should probably correct that shit.
It's not there to just color. You're like, there's
it's
colors.
not emphasizing how awesome that word was.
Ooh, it likes my word choice. It even highlighted it with red squiggles.
You spelled finger with an A. You need to fix that, you dumb shit.
Anger.
Like you turn your paper and look at all the colors on my paper. Green
So
and
bright.
purple. Because I think if there's like a syntax error, it turns purple. I can't even define syntax, but...
Syntax.
We're just trying to squeeze them in there.
Syntax. Is
Syntax for the heavy
the money
days.
that makes you pay on cigarettes?
So, I mean, I'm out of topics. Are you guys... you got anything else?
I can go for days.
I mean, we can talk for days, but is it entertaining for days?
Probably not.
That's for the listener to decide. The one listener.
It is. Okay, so we hopefully in the future, and I love the tentativeness of it. Like, hopefully, maybe
Hopefully we'll do this again sometime ever.
soon. Yeah. We're going to look into posting it maybe on a Facebook, maybe like make a Facebook page. Can you post audio on those? I don't even know.
You can. I don't think you can post an hour.
We can
Or maybe a
probably post to
MySpace.
YouTube, just audio, and just link it to Facebook.
We'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
I know you can post stuff on
If you
on
know how to
iTunes,
link
too.
anything to your
iTunes is
Facebook
free,
page,
I
please
think.
email us.
Yeah,
Let us know
and
how
that
to
would
do
be
what we're
another
doing.
thing too. If we get these posted, and if anybody else listens to these in the world, an email would obviously be to come, which would be cool. Next time
we
we'll
would love to get input. If
next
you guys
time
wanna
we'll have a
talk about something
4-piece.
or weigh in on something Victor says that's retarded. Or
You're right. No, you shouldn't say Victor. You should say Tony since he's not here.
Yeah. Why are you hating on me,
I
hater?
don't like to hate on people that aren't here.
That's the best time to hate. I mean, that is pinnacle.
I like people to be able to defend themselves.
Pinnacle.
I like that. So you guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah. I think that's what we were doing.
Okay, so that's the midnight turnaround. When you look into your other's eyes.
Nope.
No.
Wait a minute. I got just a thing.
Oh, Careless Whisper.
When you're looking into your other's eyes, and you just need to talk about comic books and nerdy things, you come to the Midnight Turnaround.
Thank you and good night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.